So, as I was saying, Mr. Jovan Button, very talented, as I was saying. And if I call him here to sing, he would sing. If I call him here to run, he would run. And the list goes on. Yes. Talent is amongst our track team. And there are also other track team members who are super talented. Singers, dancers, runners, welders, auto mechanics, you yourself riding also. Yeah man, you know what he said. Alright. So, without further ado, I want to move directly into the next phase of our program. But just before we do that, I want to share two quotes that I always use in the morning when I am going to train in the mornings. And this one says, impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it is a theory. Impossible is potential. Impossible is temporary. Impossible is nothing. That was a quote by the great Muhammad Ali, American heavyweight boxer. The second one is, success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you're doing or learning to do. And that is our great Brazilian professional footballer, famous Pelé. Winner of 3 World Cups, and the Brazilian fans will know what I'm talking about. So, with those two quotes, I want you to remember that we talk about not being impossible in your thinking as athletes and achievement. And don't see success as something that it's basically just a game. It is something that you have to have as a aim. It's not an accident. It is something that you have to have your mind to, loving what you're doing. And with all these quotes being said, I will now invite our second talented athlete, Brittany Williams, to come and introduce our guest speaker.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Brittany Williams, and I'm a proud member of the Tacius High Track. Today, on June 20th, 2024, I'll be introducing our guest speaker. But before I do so, I would like to introduce a little about him before he comes. Mr. John Lyon. Mr. John Lyon is an individual who excels in both law and sports. He is also a respected attorney. He consults at Duncroft, and he is previously the Jamaican Bar Association president. Mr. John Lyon also makes a significant impact on sports and youth development. He skillfully managed the San Diego High School Foundation. He deeply inspires young athletes. Furthermore, he leads the Sports Association of Jamaica and serves the board of Special Olympics Jamaica. However, he is also known for coaching middle distance athletes at San Diego High School. Lastly, his achievements include coaching athletes to remarkable records and a notable 4th place finish in the miles and boys champs. Ladies, gentlemen, esteemed guests, coaches, track athletes, and everyone who is within the ear of my beautiful voice, please join me in welcoming our guest speaker for today, Mr. John Lyon.
Thank you very much, Whitney. I know your esteemed principal did give greetings and welcome, and I consider it an honor when I look around the people I see here, the platform. Prime Minister Bruce Golding, and you must forgive me, but The Economist, one of the most famous magazines in the world, not in Jamaica, in the world, says that the Honorable Bruce Golding was the best Prime Minister Jamaica had for many, many, many years. was that he put on a lot of the loss-making entities that were drawing down the country. Nobody loved their Jamaica. Nobody loved sugar and so on. But he had the foresight to protect this country, and the benefits that you are enjoying today, to a large extent, of the foundation laid by brilliant people like former Prime Minister Bruce Gordon. His brother, not to be outdone, also Tony Golden gave great service in the medical field. So we stand here today recognizing not only the Golden family, but his father. As one famous Jamaican said, let us praise famous men and their fathers who begat them. When my good friend Aston Tomlin asked me to speak, I said to myself, what can I impart to the students? What can leave a lasting impression? What tenets would I say to you are important in life? And I want you to put down the number one tenet. So the number one tenet that you're going to have is to be principled. My father, who was a policeman, told me that, unfortunately for him, it was very facing, sorry. So, when he was in the police force, he couldn't get any promotion. But he said he never varied from his principles. And so, he had to retire, come out of the police force, and became a highly successful businessman. So sometimes, when doors are closed because your principles, there is a greater door opening, and it's down the road. Oftentimes, it's down the road. So don't go with the crowd. So many times we tend to look at short-term gains. Everybody is the goes to shoes now or outfit or something like that. But if I were to, in the words of Reynolds, I would say, have that long-term, delayed, I call it delayed gratification. So, at all times, it doesn't matter whether it's sports or any diversion, nothing that is going to entice you away from getting a fundamental education. I only finished fourth and champs just because my school was, again, it was a Christian school, and the system never really promoted athletics. It was into academics. But I am grateful today. And I want to tell you, one of the advantages you get from training is that when I was doing my law exam, in those days, when I was trained as a lawyer, the system was designed to eliminate people. So the British system had a 37% pass. When I did my part 1 exam, I was the only one to pass all subjects. You know why? They had 6 exams in 3 days, each one 3 hours at a time. Most of my fellows were bright girls, and they didn't have the stamina. So what you're being taught is a great tool for life. So we have the principles, but the stamina that you're going to get, the benefit. We know that Jamaica is known for sprints, but I took a team to Penn Relays in 1990, and we had the 800 meters record for boys. and stood for 20 years. And it was based on Saturn. The other thing that I'd like to say to you is read. Read. One of the things that why I was able to achieve this record is that I was reading ahead of everybody. So some of the things that they thought was novel is because of research that I had done. The other little thing that I would like to tell you, I heard a quote from a Prime Minister, Edward Seattle. Said, when you take my time, you take that one thing I can't replace. And so I would say to you, one of the essential elements of success is managing your time. There was a great philosopher, Bertrand Russell, who said 8 hours to sleep, 8 hours to work, and 8 hours to have fun. There is sufficient time. But unfortunately for too many of us, that lack of focus. When it's studying time, that's not the time to be calling your friend on WhatsApp and so on. Focus, let's deal with that. My father of blessed memory used to tell me, your mind is like a storehouse. So he said, John, if you pack it up with foolishness and comics and everything like that, when the bright thing comes and the challenging thing comes in your mind, there will be no shells in there. There will be nothing to pack that in. So he said, from that early age, I was taught to read and read selectively. The other thing I ask you to do is to read about highly successful people. You take little bits and pieces here and there, and you find that it is what made a difference. You know, it's interesting, some of our most successful people. One of the greatest prime ministers in England was Winston Churchill. And his mother was, you know, somewhat like a fashionista and so on. And Winston was struggling in school. And the principal of school gave him he had an essay, and the essay was 500 words. And he was the only one who could recite it. And as the saying goes, then the penny dropped. So the self-worth came, he suddenly realized. So don't make anybody belittle you. You have a place in the sun. You can be successful. Believe in yourself and have the application. The other person up north too, people don't know, well, some of these Americans, Ben Carson almost could have ended up in prison at a terrible temper and tried to stab a guy with a belt buckle, stop the knife. But what was it that made him important? Because his mother couldn't read him. But Ben said he used to love rocks. And one day, a school inspector came and was holding up the rocks and asked him. And I think the rock was an obsidian rock. I hope I get it right. But Ben was the only person in the class who could identify that rock. And as the saying goes, the penny dropped. So a lot of find that in life. You might not even be doing well. But don't give up. Apply yourself and apply what I call the core principle. So I make no apologies for it. I wake up 4:30 every morning and I go at my 8 from 4:30 to 11. And I go and I do my 4 hours exercise. But I have learned things in balance. So don't make people waste your time, and nobody can deviate me from my focus. So I am thankful, and when I look back, one of the things I want you to remember, please, please, I beg of you, give back to your school. I make no bones about it. I have given a lot. But so have people looked out for me. Yeah. It's amazing. A old boy who was in my class the other day called me and said, John, I'm doing this transaction. And the water rate is $8 million. And well, I said, you know, no, I see what I can do. Eventually, speaking to some people and so on and so forth, and we were able to get it reduced by 20%. $1.8 million came off of it. But what was the important thing? There was hello? There was a crucial person that I needed to get. And when I got to that person, the person said to me, John Liver, you don't have to beg. I'm going to send you to pass through. This is the linkage. So you are going to form that linkages with your fellow students and with your school. And I tell you, I'm going to close because I think I've spoken too long. But I'm going to tell you that one of the greatest benefits you can get is to give back. And you are not going to be the poorer for it. So apply yourself, be outstanding citizens, and don't make the sky, as I said, the sky is the limit. Keep that focus. A lot of deviations going to come along the way. But I think that, as they say, silver and gold vanish away. But a good education will never be. Thank you for
Would you like to give it again for Mr. Liver? At this moment, before we are making a presentation to Mr. Liver in our people, before we do that, I want to ask you what do you think about the things of Mr. Liver? And I'm still at 1 to 10. Oh my goodness. I'm going to highlight some points. He spoke about success. It's not for the weak, it is for disciplined people. He said, don't pack your head with nonsense and come here. Focus on the successful things. Am I right? Right, Louise? Right. He said, read about successful people. Right, Louise? Right. He said, do not let anyone belittle you. Right, Louise? Right. He says, do not give up, apply yourself on the core principles. Right, Louise? Right. He says, remember to give back to your school, no matter how small. Right, Louise? Right. Always remember. And when you hear a speaker speaks about giving back, that is why we are here. People are giving back. Put your hands together for those sponsors and everyone who has to do. At this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Liver to come this way again, sir. I know you'll be walking up and down, but you're a trainer, so you're used to it. At this time, Brittany is going to be making a presentation to Mr. Liver.
to learn from him, and I would like to hear from him further what's going on in my life of future. Thank you.
Once again, thank you, Mr. Laibo. Okay, so we're at that time of the day where we recognize our awardees. And I'm going to be inviting Mrs. Stephanie Reed to come and take charge of this segment of our program. Put your hands together for Mrs. Stephanie Reed. She's our teacher, and she was the person who actually accompanied and went with the team to Penn Relay. She's their mommy, the mother from the other mother. So she didn't steal your kids away, parents, but she was the mommy at Penn Relays with these athletes. And you need to put your hands together for Mrs. Stephanie Reed.
Good morning again, everyone. To our principal, Mr. Griffith, Vice Principal, Ms. Harvey, teachers, students, parents, and to all our affiliates, and once again, welcome you here. Today, we gather here to extend our heartfelt gratitude to some very special individuals and organizations who have played a significant role in supporting our cause. The track and field students dream of being a part of the Penn Relay 2024, right students? Would not have been actualized without their sponsorship. We are grateful for their generosity and unwavering commitment to making a positive impact in our community. First and foremost, I would like to express our deepest appreciation to the Honorable Bruce Golding for his invaluable support and sponsorship. His dedication to our cause has been truly inspiring, and we are incredibly grateful for your generosity. I would also like to thank Mr. Bowen and Core Development Limited for their unwavering support. Their contribution has been instrumental in helping us achieve our goals. And we are also very incredibly grateful for your continued support. I would like to extend our sincere thanks to Gary Hendricks and Living Hope Jamaica for their generous contributions to our cause. Their support has been truly invaluable, and we are extremely grateful for your ongoing commitment in making a difference in our schools. I would also like to express our gratitude to Kari, JMMD, Sajikor for their generous sponsorship and support. Finally, I will go again and repeat those persons that we are thanking at this time. I'll ask the students to stand and let us show our respect and appreciation for our sponsors. So, the Honorable Bruce Golding, Ms. Bowen, Core Development Limited, Gary Hendricks, Perry, JMMD, Sajikor, and Jamaica. So, we thank you. Once again, students, put your hands together. We could have not been possible without the sponsors. And I will not leave out the parents who also made an effort with paying some of your fare and all of that for you to be there. So thanks to all those persons and parents in the school who played their part in ensuring that you were able to attend this function. And even though they may not have came out on top, but they gained valuable experience, to which I hope they will get the opportunity and another time to go again, because it has done much for them. They have grown over the period. They have looked at other persons performing their observation and see how they should. They put in more effort into training so they can excel next year. All right, thank you again. At this time, I invite Ms. Thomas. Henry Minor for the presentation of the award. Students, you may take a seat. Guys, most honorable Bruce Golding, to our stage here. Sorry that you're in the middle of your meeting, but so the guys, let's put your hands together. And you know we should be standing in honor of our past Prime Minister.
Yes, ma'am.
I invite everyone to stand in respect. Come on, guys, put your hands together again. Ready to go. Mr. Warren, you're welcome to the stage. Core Development Limited. Gary Hendricks. Living Hope, Jamaica. Okay, that's it for presentation. However, there's one this Bowen is online, so we're going to do a virtual presentation to Ms. Bowen. I invite Mr. Francis at this time.
Good morning, everyone. Just want to give a big thanks to Ms. Bowen for support and contribution to the Tacius High Track team because she made a tremendous help towards pushing them to our strengths and realize some students' dream and stuff like that. So we just want to say thanks to her. So going forward, we love for her support again. Thanks.
All right, thank you, teachers. Thank you, Mr. Francis, Mrs. Reed, Thomas, Henry. All right, so we're almost through, but I think we still need a little bit of entertainment to get ourselves busy while we're having our meals. So, Miss Jones? All right, so at this time, as you know, the Tacius High School has a lot of talent. Performing arts group will be coming with an item. Please make them welcome.
Objection.
How does that go?
Stand. Stand.
What can we tell them? That focus on the people of the road. Focus on themselves. I am telling you, alone. What you do? What is that? Okay. I don't know what to do. God, give me a strength. Please, one clap. Yeah. What's the number? Four. Yeah, I'm going to number 4. Hello. Hello.
You there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay, so I need to show you the light, okay?
Okay. What part? I've got time to say to you. No, let me calm down. No, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, I want to mango.
Did you hear what they said? You're going to where? Not far enough. And you know, how many athletes came back funny when they went to USA? Sir, you must have been on the trip, sir. Sorry, sir. So you're posting the next money, let's post some money, sir. Ah, boy. It was a good experience, right? Alright, so once again, put your hands together for the so far with that. Good. Alright, so I see on my program here remarks from the awardees. I'm not sure if there's any, or should I say, remarks. We're going to be waiting for a while to have their meals. So I'm going to be just now giving a little music. And then after you, we'll have some remarks from the awardees who are here, and then we'll have the vote of thanks to close the program. So I see that you are having your meals, so about another couple of minutes, then we can get into it. Alright?
Okay, so I will have to mute, unable to play this music that the selector is going to play. I work and growth and pride. Eat up the food. Hello. Put away the food. Eat up the food. Where? Plate is empty? Why is the plate empty? Is it finished? You are finished? Okay.
Yes, as you know, we learn to ride and whistle. As customary, we will ask Mr. Googling to actually just make a remarks on behalf of our awardees and basically let us see if everyone is having a place at your table also. So by that time we will be filling up place of eating. So let's go. Thank you welcome once again.
You know, one of these awards here could be given to the person who goes at 2. The best goes at 2 5 for us.
Put it.
And it's done live, I guess, speaker. Principal and members of staff, both the academic and the auxiliary staff. UN staff takes us all like that. I'm happy to be here, and these are my 2 brothers, all 3 of us being the children of Tacius High. And we're happy to be here to share and to celebrate with you in an important achievement. I'm listed among the awardees, but quite frankly, I was the least of the apostles in this crusade. I want to tell you the story of how it all came about. I got a call from Professor Trevor Monroe, who was a schoolmate of mine at St. George's College and then later lectured me at the university. And he said he had been contacted by one of his past students who lives in New York, a lady by the name of Michelle Boyd, who wanted to find out if I could help to mobilize some funds so that the Tacius High track team could compete in the 10 relays. I told him, give her my contact information. So one of the people that you have to thank is Professor Trevor Monroe, because he was the person who first made contact with me. And then I heard from Michelle Boyd, who told me that she was trying to raise some funds so that the team could go to Penn. I asked her, I said, well, are you an old student of Tacius High? She said, no. She's a past student of Immaculate. So the second person you have to thank, and you have her listed among the awardees, is Michelle Boyd, who is an attorney at law practicing in New York. And she actually told me that when the team arrived, she actually drove down to meet with the team to see how they were settling it. So when she said she's a past student of Immaculate, I said, well, what do you think the invitation for? She said she was trying to help one of the students, and then discovered that there were, I don't know, 13 or 14 others who needed help too. And the one student she was trying to help out was Brittany Williams, Great Britain. There you are. So you need to thank Brittany as well. I asked her to send me the budget, let me know what the whole thing would cost. She sent me a budget, I think it was for $10,000 US or something like that. Which would be the equivalent of about almost 1.6 million Jamaican dollars. She said that they had managed to raise a couple of dollars. I said, well, what do you mean by a couple of dollars? She said, well, about $500 US, which would then be what? About 78,000 Jamaican dollars. I said, all right, let me work on it. And I reached out to corporate Jamaica, to a number of the big companies in Jamaica whose principals I knew well. And they really responded, and I want to join with you today in honoring them and thanking them for their response. And I want to mention them individually and to indicate the extent of their generosity. The first person I reached out to was Mr. Glenn Christian at Caribbean. And he responded very quickly, gave me a commitment for $5,000 US, which is what? About $785,000. I got hold of Philip Gore at Gore Development. And he committed $1,000 US, that's what? $155,000. Then I found John Webby, at Grace Kennedy. They gave $150,000 Jamaican dollars, so the kitty was moving up. I got hold of my friend Butch Hendrickson at National Baking Company. I said, Butch, you have to help out. He sent us $750,000 Jamaican dollars. I spoke with Keith Duncan at JMND. He gave a personal contribution from his own pocket of $50,000. But he put us on to the JMND Foundation, the John Duncan Foundation. And they explained to us that they don't normally provide financial support for this kind of thing. They are strictly into education, scholastics. But because of the appeal that Keith Duncan had made to them, they gave us a contribution of $150,000 Jamaican dollars. And then finally I got hold of Sadikor, spoke to Chris Hatham, who was my special advisor when I was Prime Minister. And he gave us a commitment for $3,000 US. That's another 400. So all told, you had a budget of around 1.6 million Jamaican dollars. We ended up raising 2.5 million Jamaican dollars. Which means, Mr. Principal, that it's about to have some changing over. And I'm sure that there are some important needs in the school, whether in sports or whether in academics. But I'm sure that there are some priorities to which the balance could be well utilized. So I want to join with you in thanking all of these who rallied to the cause and enabled the team to go through the pen. I remember Michelle, in one of our messages, Michelle told me that when the team arrived, they didn't realize that it was as cold as it was. And they had to go shopping for some warm clothes, but there was enough money to cover the cost of that. I want to say one final thing. The team didn't come out with glory at the 10 million. But bear in mind, and I think sometimes I alluded to it, success is not a deed. It is not an act. Achieving success is a process. And you have to work at it. You have to persevere. You have to be focused. You have to be patient. And you need to continue to strive. Usain Bolt didn't become the Usain Bolt we know today, which was one race. And therefore, your future in terms of athletics is not just the next race, it's not just the next 10 relays. It is constant dedication, focus, discipline. Discipline. Knowing that there are times when you have to forsake the dancehall business because you have to train. That requires discipline. That's the price you pay for something. Look at the growth. Look at the rewards that it can bring. One of my favorite athletes is Shelly Ann. Shelly Ann is going to compete again for the last time in the Olympics in Paris. My daughter is a very good friend of hers, a very close friend. And she invited my daughter to Paris to say, you know, come to the games and stay with me in my villa. Shelly Ann wouldn't be able to make that kind of invitation and spur that for the success that she has achieved as an athlete. But that success didn't come overnight. And it didn't come easy. I remember one day, you know, my granddaughter's birthday party. It was like on a Thursday. And we were planning to go on the boat to a picnic at Pigeon Island on this Sunday. And I said to Shelly, we're going to Pigeon Island on Sunday, why don't you come with us? She said, no, I have to train. I have to train. I love the book, but I have to train. So I want to say to you guys and you girls, remain focused, remain steadfast. And remember that your opportunities don't end when you leave Tacius High. As John Liber told you, there are doors of opportunities that will open for you. But if you're not smart enough to recognize them and grab them, and to do what is necessary to exploit them, and to exploit them to your best advantage. Those opportunities will pass you and go to the next person who will grab it. So I urge you, continue to do well and make this school proud of you. And make my father in his resting place look down and smile and say, well, I'm proud of the students of the school that bears my name. God bless you all.
Parents, students, athletes, teachers, colleagues. Mr. Golden has said it all. So at this time, I'm going to ask our principal to make his remark before we have the vote of thanks. Mr. Griffiths, once again, sir, make your principal welcome.
Thank you very much, Sir Claude. So the official vote of thanks will be coming in short order. But I want first to be cognizant of the many things that are happening as we sit and dine and eat. This event is competing with a trend teacher engagement session being held at the National Arena, as well as it is being done online. So most of the staff members, academic staff members, are either at the arena or they are online, being updated with what is trending in education. Also happening this morning is the rollout of the new government financial management system, where we find our bursar and some of the other administrative team members are currently in Kingston being trained for that and rollout of the financial system, which will better enable us to keep a track of what is happening and to make sure that the funds are being spent in the right way towards the correct priorities. Also competing in this event, we have internal exams going on for grade 10 students. Some did exams this morning and some are about to write the second paper this afternoon. So there are several events, but despite those competing events, I want to thank once again Mr. Tommy and Steve for making all of this possible this morning. Mr. Tommy, please come on this way. And I want you all to give him a nice resounding round of applause. Because Sir Tommy stops at nothing to get his dreams or his objectives met. He will tell you that we don't always agree on several issues, but we tend to find, but we tend to find the common ground. And one of the common ground is that we live with saying, one school, one team. And I want you all to remember that. It's one school, one team. And when we work together, just look at what can be accomplished. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Many things happening, but we can make it up. Once again, give that a round of applause. Thank you very much for your food. So, Mr. Manta, I invite the individual giving the vote of thanks, who is giving the vote of thanks. So, David, please come to give the official vote of thanks. And once again, for all those persons who made it possible, who are here, not here, who are online, we want to thank you once again. Sir Holmes.
Pleasant to meet you. I would like to start off this book by introducing the fellow members of this gathering who play a youth uplifting our school and mostly the Japan field eventually 2024. Chairman, Mr. White, Sir Conrad Griffith Smith, table sponsor of donor and this opportunity has been very and appreciated to us and also assure you that next year and up to come in the work into real success and make you all purpose.
Alright, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how was today?
11.
I want to say something being here. At this time, of course, we just finish our meals and we'll have some interludes. And once again, I want to leave you with another quote. And this quote is saying, always remember that the heights of great men reach and kept. Finish it with me.
Not obtained by southern class.
Anyone that will find yourself.
Climbing upward through the night.
Highly. Smart work, commitment, discipline, strategy, duty. You look yourself, one love.